truly believes they're going to upset some teams as they especially get in the Pac-12 play. He knows they're young right now. They have to gel together as he's been getting a couple of key pieces back that we're going to see here this evening.
Czinano doesn't even jump. I love that. Jelena Mitrovic is 6'9", and Czinano was just kind of laughing out there. She's on, no.
She's going to get back on defense, right?
Yes. And there's Mitrovic. Doubled right away, and Czinano gets the rebound.
Lisa Luder talked about Mitrovic and just her size and how much of a load she's going to be inside for them. And really overall, Oregon State's length.
And that's something Czinano's been working on. If she wants to play pro ball, needs to, most of her points, the vast majority coming inside the paint. She's trying to extend her range.
Yeah, Lisa Luder talking to us about one of the things she wanted to do and coming back for this extended period of time is work on that range, knock down some outside shots.
Here she is, number 22, Caitlin Clark, kicking it out. 3-ball for Gabbie Marshall. Coming back to her home state to use up her final year of eligibility. Left wide open. Alexis Aaron with the miss, and now here's Clark being aggressive to the hoop.
And Scott Rowe told us we cannot allow them to get out in transition. He can't be happy about how easy that was for Caitlin Clark.
Watching Caitlin Clark this year, she's much more on balance when she's attacking the paint. In times in the past, you could see her maybe throw up some shots, fall to the ground, but now finishing strong off of 2 feet.
Undisciplined defenders bailing her out with silly fouls.
She gets to the line over 10 times per game so far in the season, and that's the connection. Clark to Czinano, who was fouled.
Gabbie Marshall has not shot the ball particularly well this season, but that is what she does best, and Caitlin Clark found her.
What I was going to say is both the assist and that finish, tremendous change of pace with the ball in her hands.
But they were number 4 in the preseason, their highest preseason ranking since 1994. Warnock with the drive and the finish.
And we saw in the K-State loss for Iowa, that's how they exploited Czinano. They pulled her out away from the basket.
The defensive assignment for Clark.
Well, Caitlin Clark's going to see a lot of different players on her. They're going to give her so many different looks, and that's great rotation by Manning.
And let's be frank, to beat Iowa, you can't just worry about going one-on-one. It's got to be that team defense.
3-ball from Alexis Aaron. Now inside De Beers, defended by O'Grady. Madison O'Grady, number 44. Gives Iowa some quality minutes, and that's a quality move by Clark.
And again, you see the balance.
So what does Iowa do offensively with Caitlin Clark on the bench? 11 points in the game. She is responsible for 9 of those, either her own points or off of her assists.
Getting it into Mitrovic, who is able to collect it.
Well, an Iowa team that runs a lot of that motion offense. They're going to have to get more player movement. The ball's getting stuck right now. You can't play all in on-ball screen action as Gabbie Marshall gets an easy... Yeah, and Iowa haven't had a lot of ball reversals. They've been getting one side offense, taking shots right away. I think they've got to make Oregon State work a little more as Van Olhoffen gets a 3 right there. Now, this is an Iowa offense that can score quickly, but sometimes you need to put some pressure on the defense.
And 4-1 on the year. Caitlin Clark, not much of a break. She's going to come in, as will Hannah Stolke, a freshman from Cedar Rapids.
I like this look right here. It's not there, then you got to get it moving again. Or knock it down.
Good doing, freshman.
Knock it down.
The reigning Pac-12 freshman of the week.
It's a big Pac-12.
A big Pac-12, and she's a big-time player from the state of Colorado.
I like Manning's toughness on the floor.
Davis dribbling right through. They need a shot. Warnock gets it up and in.
Continued with the handle, found her open shooter.
Well, we were talking about this in the last game, right? The difference in a veteran point guard that keeps your dribble alive, work around the baseline, probe, and find the open player.
Banked it in. Exactly to the seat where he was sitting. It's behind us and to our left. Here we're on the campus of the University of Portland. And he just loves coaching women's basketball and has done a great job in his home state.
Iowa coming to the zone out of the timeout.
Scott Ruick says that this young lady, she's as gifted as anybody I've ever coached, which is saying something.
And he said it straight face, because I thought for a moment, considering some of the grades he's had, that he was like, maybe, but he said right now she is.
It's difficult to have the ball in your hands as much as Caitlin Clark does. She doesn't really get anything easy. Some curl pop actions. Utilize her as a screener.
Marshall got her hands on the basketball to force the turnover.
Nice.
And Martin and the Czinano.
And who it favors?
I think it favors Oregon State.
Absolutely.
If you're Iowa, you want to get up and down the floor. You want to get some quick shots. You want to get some movement. Lisa Bluder talked about this offense and how it's going to take some time for some new pieces and for them to get into a flow and rhythm. But this possession is the first time we've seen the ball cross the mid-floor multiple times.
Czinano turns, fires over Mitrovic.
You got to pull her away. You don't just want to try to challenge her down low. Too much of a size advantage or disadvantage.
You can put her in some on-ball screen situations. It doesn't have to be in the middle of the floor with no passing offense. It can be on the backside.
Coming back in, this time replacing Mitrovic. Clark, defended by Yaney.
And potentially draw a secondary defender, but when she gets the ball, she doesn't need a lot of space. She takes great angles to get by defenders.
Oh, that's a terrific. Caitlin. Martin's second chance. Clark.
By defenders, they keep them behind them. They don't banana cut it off.
Beer is working hard. Clark pulls it, nails it.
She makes it over the top of you, fine, she does. What you don't want to do is allow her to get by and just pick you apart and then play soft and she gets open looks. Like that's a shot I would not allow her to use the screen.
But that's a tough one right there because it's such that tight window, so there is no time for help.
They scouted that play.
At a timeout
They scouted
execution.
that play.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Oregon State knew it was coming.
Communication. Those bigs have to call that. You have to know that it's coming.
Czinano setting that screen for Clark.
And Beers stayed back, and that's to Steph's point. It's got to be team defense against Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely. Right there, like that for Czinano.
More good defense, this time by Marshall. Iowa's hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Czinano left open. Blocked by Mitrovic as the lead is now 9 points.
You know, here's the key. We talked about, like, against Czinano, pull her out, bigs make those shots, or your wings, but from a rebound perspective. Trip before last, Mitrovic takes that outside shot. There are no rebounders for Oregon State, and that allows Iowa to get out and run.
Clark just getting around, really just ultra competitive and a nice kid.
He said her mindset puts her over the top. And this is how he closed it. He said, and her right hand's just magic.
Yes, he would have loved to have brought her west. Aaron does some nice things offensively for the Beavers.
And then that's the third three that she's hit. So Iowa has to be a little bit more aware of where she is on the three-point line and close out quicker.
Which is about 1,000 more students than they have at this small but effective university. We are underway.
I was going to say, when it gets loud, it gets loud in here, as we heard a couple of runs by Oregon State in the first half.
Warnock right away, attacking the floor.
That's the Oregon State. A little more sense of urgency to get over those screens, because Iowa's going to make you pay if you're not.
They are. You can't play a drop coverage against a team that's used to making jump shots.
A.J. Murad, who has scored a double figures all 4 games this year with a nice turnaround. Czinano setting the screen, trying to get it back to her, but that was cut off nicely.
That's the cut right there. That's it all day long.
Kate Martin got a hand on that, and now 2-on-1. Clark with a little head fake and then rolled it in.
Have led the country in field goal percentage shooting. The commonality in that, to me, is Jan Jensen, the associate head coach for Iowa. Was a tremendous player at Drake in her day, and she continues, doesn't matter if they're undersized or not, to develop great post players for Iowa.
She sure does. It seems like year after year.
Dan Olhard often hit for Oregon State, and then the quick answer for Iowa by Kate Martin. Jan Jensen played for Coach Bluter and over at Drake and has been with her for all 23 years at Iowa. Van Olhofen's a good basketball. Yaney shooting over Clark. Loose ball. Battled for. Here comes Clark streaking down the left side. Wants to be part of the winning team. There's Stokey, the freshman, who got blocked by Mitrovic.
That's one of those drives that Bluter wanted. Let's wait for the second.
From Serbia with the miss.
Stuff what concerns me about that last shot is that no Oregon State player made an attempt to go to the boards on that one.
Warnock standing out there.
Will continue to get better and evolve. We've seen a couple of misses right around the rim, just timing issues that you just need game reps together.
And that's the thing is Bindi Yaney
gets the rim against Czinano. She can get that shot up off the backboard to kiss it in.
Yaney played a couple of years at Indiana and then went over to Arizona, finishing up now at Oregon State, which is her third school. Coming back close to home.
Yaney telling man, reverse it. That's the veteran leadership on the floor for Oregon State.
Really kept Mitrovic off the block, outside the paint, and did a good job of finishing that play with the box.
Iowa's gone almost 3 minutes without a point. Clark finally gets one to go.
Without bringing the ball low, but a strong center of gravity, a strong base. Nice.
No drop.
There's O'Grady.
Luckily, she was able to draw the foul there because that took away her opportunity to turn the corner.
Manning just picked up her second for the Beavers. Right-handed floater. Double-double.
Oregon State switching up the defense here. They were trying to just get the ball out of Clark's hands there with the double team.
I like the extended 2-3. Got to cover the middle, though.
I was going to say, if the backs...
After Oregon State got close, Iowa has extended back to a 13-point advantage.
And I think this is the lesson from the K-State loss. They let K-State stay around, and it was getting eerily similar there before Lisa Bluter made that timeout call.
Yaney. There's some pressure from Oregon State, but Clark got it over and tells Gabbie to give it right back to her, and Marshall does just that. Martin thought about taking the three. Warnock left open, hit it.
And then that leaves Monika Czinano one-on-one down low.
Absolutely.
Pick your poison.
Shot clock into single digits. Under a minute and a half to go in the game. Czinano wants it back. Got the high arc on it.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Gabbie Marshall? She's been on the floor at least 6 times today, and she has been huge defensively for them as well.
I see her shaking out her right hand now. I think everything's going to hurt. Clark directing traffic, tells Marshall to go to the other side. Bounce pass, Czinano. Clark. Oh, everybody wanted her to shoot it, including me.
She's trying to get those assists now.
Oh! Czinano rolls it in.
Extra pass.
How about Monika Czinano, though? Off the move, being able to catch that pass, pivot around, and make it back. A lot of times, bigs, when they're rolling, they don't have the body control to be able to stop on a dime and get it back out.
And this is a player who, when she was a freshman, backed up Megan Gustafson, barely got off the bench.
You think she had a daily tutelage?
Yeah, you got Jan Jensen, and then, in practice, you got Gustafson, and has developed into this.
Well, you see it right here, just the footwork, the balance, being able to stop on a dime, find her open teammate, and then the ball movement, the extra pass, and the strong finish.
With the left hand. Clark at the free throw line, and I know we've asked Lisa Bluter if she ever thought that Czinano would turn into this, and she said, heavens no. She really thought that she would be a backup post, but she got in the gym, worked with Coach Jansen, worked hard, obviously, on her own, and is elite.
Great things happen when you do the work.
How about that, huh?
I don't think elite's a good enough word. I'm sorry.
Or what word would you use?
I'm not as smart as you. Beyond special.
That's.
I mean, Aaliyah Edwards has to be able to stay on the floor.
And that'll be 1 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. That's 10 o'clock local. We have a game at 10 o'clock as well. That's early.
It's 2 East Coast teams.
That's early.
They're fine.
I'm not.
They're young.
So Caitlin Clark, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, but the supporting cast, really a good team effort.
It's a team.
Yes.
And that's why I think they're dangerous. Take away Caitlin Clark.